Good morning, everybody. Very good morning on this Saturday after the celebrations of Thanksgiving Day. And we were very thankful. The family was together and we celebrated with a lot of things. So finally, we cleaned up, we kind of uh, sent our son back to his workplace and um, so we had goodies that we could enjoy and all that. But more importantly, I kind of reflected on what was going on within each of us and kind of increased the intimacy and care for each other. And really, uh, the kids came through with their mom was in the hospital and they took real good care of her and there's plenty of opportunities to really look inside of ours. You remember I was doing that holiday hacks where I said, enjoy all the outward festivities, that's all fine. But when you are together with your loved ones, open up and have that inner reflection, and whereby you become more close emotionally, right? So that's a kind of thing that we had a very wonderful time that way, especially this Thanksgiving. So I'm happy to report that to you. I hope yours was also equally meaningful and quality, and had you all your loved ones really, felt like they were close together more this Thanksgiving holiday. Um, so I thought I will come here and talk to my friends here and share some experiences, if they would, about how their holiday went and were there any chances of inner reflection and um, inner intimacy. You remember I was telling you about antarangika sanhityam. That's the Sanskrit word for antaranga, means inside our psychological self and sanhitya means closeness, intimacy. Are we intimate emotionally? Are we intimate philosophically? Are we intimate about being the human tribe and all that? Okay, they're not really that big deal once you understand and then approach like that, and then have the merry and outward things, that's fine. But then have some time for this. That's what I thought would be a good holiday message. That's why I put that article, holiday hacks, right? So basically, this is what it was all about. So I'm able to report to you that we became more closer together as a family after this holiday. So that's something uh, very happy for me. And really, the kids took care of everything practically. But also they made the holiday special, right? So, but then back to work and all that. Everybody goes where they have to do their societal duties and what they like. My son likes music and he's a band teacher. So he loves to teach young kids the music and all that. So I kind of gave him a AI inspired uh, plan of how he could spread his wings more and give that happiness to a lot more people. Remember the word dharma from the ancient says, you do whatever you do that touches or helps or transforms whatever you do, helpful to many. Right? It's not about you only you and your family or only your country or anything like that. It's like they had this perspective of global even at that time. Current globalization is about transactions, settling a lot of things over the markets. But when it comes to intimacy of the cultures in the sense of understanding them and see what is the value in those cultures and then adopt them, actually, America is an example of that. pot belly, right? It is kind of has so many cultures coming together and really sharing the very valuable good things in each culture, So that's what I think is a value thing of the experiment of democracy with United States. Great, right? So um, when you think there's only one globe and everybody is represented here, and we can extend the same to the nations too. But globalization for transactions versus globalization for transformation is what I'm talking about. Okay, so what do you think? What do you feel about it? Anybody has any um, opinion or how that rings to you? I'm sure you are living that life because you are living in so many cultures and colors and celebrations in this. We do that. We celebrate Thanksgiving, Christmas, and we celebrate Diwali and Dasara, so like Indian festivals, and also whenever opportunity to go some parades and all that in Chicago, especially the Irish holidays and all that, we did really go there. So there are so many opportunities to know about other cultures, others traditions, how they have evolved, what was the deeper meaning and all. My penchant was really examine each festival, how it has originated, how it had a deeper meaning behind it, and how we can adopt it in our lives, right? I put an article around Halloween time and the Diwali time. What was the significance of Halloween? What the significance of Diwali? So that was really fun to look at festivals and understand the culture in a deeper way, right? So that's what I was doing. I would love to know what you guys think about that. Do you look at only fun and frolic of the festival, or do you look at the deeper meaning of the significance of that festival? I did look at all Indian festivals because I grew up with them, and they were a lot of fun. Each festival has its own special dish they used to make, and also each festival has, we got new clothes and new celebrations and all that. One festival where they allow us to go to all houses, and then they used to give us candy like but they used to invite us inside and give us some treats, right, inside, and we eat them in the same place because they are so fresh and nice. And then we kind of get some money for our teachers, and then we used to bring it and give it to my teacher. Okay, that was fun too. So like that, there were so many different festivals, different activities that were really good. Some toys were promoted just for that festival, and we got the new toys and we got introduction into the traditions and all that. Okay, so examining each festival like that is very very good. This Thanksgiving, especially giving thanks to because of the harvest you have, there is a similar festival in India. It's called Sankranti. It is celebrated right after the bounty of harvest for the farmers, and the farmers have this cows decorated, and they come and dance for the chore with that guy. And there's one guy goes around the houses, and then he gets the rice. His job is to really narrate ancient wisdom, really. So he will come and sing songs, that songs have deeper meaning. And then he kind of has this garland in his neck, and really a brass shiny thing on his head where they put all the rice. And then he goes home and then cooks the rice and eats, and then he spends all his time studying ancient wisdom and then bringing it back to the community in the form of singing. Early in the morning he used to come, and it's a wonderful time. Early in the morning, this singing going on, and girls come out of the house and put beautiful what they call rangavali, a kind of with a powdered chalk, like that is taken and different designs are done. My sister was to be excellent in that. She used to make a very measured, very nice one without any effort. Really easy, she used to do, and we were amazed at the skill that she had developed by herself. Nobody taught her or anything like. So the number of things you can recall. Okay. So, what do you think about the significance of Thanksgiving? You can come up and talk to me about it. Don't be shy about it. That would be what is the meaning that you have gathered out of that. So that's something I would like to listen to you too. So it's a perspective. It's how we celebrate holidays, how we look at them, that kind of thing, right? So my childhood was really not like now. The kids have too much homework and too many things that you have to do, and there's so much pressure on these kids, right? For us, it's like a fun time. We studied, we did, but then that was not everything at that time. It may have changed now in India, but at that time, we were able to carefree, play in the nature and the trees, on the grounds, on the whatever, right? And then come home, and we had a wonderful meals prepared fresh every day and served hot, and that was fun. That was really good to eat them. And we used to sit down on the floor and eat in a steel plate or something like that. Some of them were silver plates, so for occasions they used to take them out. So it was more nature friendly, right? You are playing with the nature, in the nature, and we were exposed to a lot of sunshine, and we were kind of physical all the time. So fitness was not a problem, tremendous energy. And in the mind, there were no worries as kids, right? We were really happy to grow up with everybody else, our siblings, and also we had such a close friendships. That kind of continued. Uh, it's a kind of all that happens, right? So it's a question of looking at perspective. We were protected, but at the same time we were free to go and do the activities that we have, and most of them are involved with other kids, and then the bondages that we developed with those kids were still lasting even now. I recall those friends, and I touch base with them and I see what was going on. And when I go to India, they all come to the place I am in, and we kind of touch base with each other, and no expectations, but just friendship and love and affection. So even if I go to India for a few weeks, I get revived completely because the nourishment of those relationships, right? So everybody grew up now. Everybody is kind of still alive, So hopefully it will continue for a while, So next time when I go to India, I will take more movies of the. We have the old movies, but then we will take more pictures and movies and then bring them back so that I can share with my friends on these apps, on these platforms. So festivals have a significance in the sense a lot of people kind of use festivals to rev them up. They need that stimulus to make them, happy and all that, but without really attending to the fundamental reason why they are unhappy, what they are looking for. Maybe they are looking outward happiness, and that is kind of, you know, will come and go. But there is a possibility of being happy for a prolonged period by looking inward and working the things inwardly. Once you realize there is an unalloyed happiness within, and you can touch it by really taking away all the layers of illusions that you have formed. And then you don't have to have a festival, you don't have to an achievement to be happy and joyful and really participate in any work or any service. Uh, just just because, right? That's what I'm doing. I come and share, I come to uh, help people understand the ancient wisdom, provided that gives you some relief or some answers, some clarity. I have served you, right? But not necessarily you have to do it, but I touch that's why there's happiness always coming out, and that comes into service, right? I hope I made myself clear. A lot of people want to have a festival, stimulus, and all the things to do to be happy because they are so lonely inside, so miserable inside because their life did not go the way you want. But being in the present means don't have any expectations, don't have any memories or that you want to have, but more like a perceive what is in front of you, what the life presented you, and then act in the moment accordingly. Okay, so that really solves the burden of the past memories and missing out on things that you would like to have and they were not like before. Your health may have gone down, your people may have gone, so many changes, right? But in the change you can see fresh what is I can perceive, that is here and now, not according to our past or the future expectations, here and now, and then participate in that. Okay, so that kind of perceiving in the present moment is possible when you don't have a heavy load on your mind in terms of expectations, in terms of past memories. But then you can enjoy the sunshine today, you can enjoy the trees today, you can enjoy the wind and all that today. That kind of thing is there. So according to the nature, according to the season, things change, right? Today it's very, yesterday it was very windy here in Iowa. But we had company of all the four of us together at home, and we thoroughly enjoyed that. So talking to people, understanding what their plans are, what they are going to do, how we can collaborate. That is what I was talking about, the holiday hacks. And then without reading that, we kind of all the kids kind of participated in that kind of spirited intimacy, inner wise. Okay, like exposing what their plans are, how they feel, what they would like to have this year, how, what kind of services they're going to offer to the life itself. That was my question. So I mean, somebody said I'm going to entertain more people by expanding my albums and all that on the social media. My son was that, and my daughter said I'm going to give them more recipes on the ice cream that I make, and then people can enjoy them and then improve that a lot too. So it was not a question of making more money, so it's a question of how can I reach more people with this service. That is what I was trying to promote. I do it, and that gives me immense joy itself. But I'm joyful even if I'm not doing it. But when I do it, it kind of doubles. You know what I mean? So being in service, thinking in terms of service, providing service, whatever it is, whatever it could be a talk, it could be sharing an experience or understanding of ancient wisdom, like I was talking about. Actually, it reinforces your understanding of that wisdom. Make sense? So I think that's what happens to me. I don't forget it. I will be in that all the time because I am always talking about it and also checking with me, am I doing this or am I just telling? So today something morning my son came and asked me, he wanted to borrow some old vinyl records that I had, and I kind of preserve them for eternity, maybe, because they are such old, unavailable tunes now that vinyl records are kind of they cannot be replaced. So I told him, why don't I make a CD and give it to you? And he said, no, 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 I want to have the vinyl records so I can listen to all songs. So I'm going to give all of them to him and then let him enjoy them. Maybe he can make a CD and give it to me. That's what I was. I could not give right away because they were way back in the basement somewhere. But I said I will bring them to him. Because he lives only 3 hours away. So I'm going to bring them to him next week. So he enjoys this voice and all that. That's good enough. But I don't have to do that. But I can be just myself, be silent, and be happy with myself. That kind of thing. So does this all make any sense to you guys? Come up and I want to serve any questions or any doubts or anything that you have that I would like to um, respond and answer if I could, or listen to your story and enjoy your wisdom. You know, so come up and talk to me, and that would be something meaningful today. Okay, so we had a very good holiday. We had a very good exchange of, even in the car, going to the shopping, even when you are having dinner. We did everything together. And one of the things we did was we kind of cleaned up some sections of the house very nicely, all of us together talking and enjoying ourselves. And then doing that, that seemed no big deal. You kind of the entire kitchen, the entire living room like that. But because four people were working together, it went just a jiffy, and we didn't even feel it. I said we'll make the festival as a occasion to make it ambience good for us, and then so we bought the fresh flowers and put the flowers all over. We kind of cleaned up everything to appear nice. And so when we sat down for the dinner, I made the dining table really appear nice. Okay, then the dinner became double the pressure, right? So I kind of you can say cleaning nut, maybe. I want everything to be in the order in us, but I don't trouble anybody who is not like that. But I do it by myself. And then when I do it, everybody enjoys that too. So is the fresh flowers every table, and freshly cleaned up tables, and really having a very nice china on the this one. That ambience was very good for everybody. And I was gratified with my children. They were so eager to do everything well, you know not expecting anything in return, not even praise, but we had to appreciate them. And appreciated my wife, appreciated them. And they would not let us do some things. They want to do it for themselves. That was just a gesture. But we went and gave our hand and lended it and all that. So a lot of things went very smoothly. But the conversations, the coming to know each other better, that was the key. And nobody felt really tired or anything, and just a lot of laughter, a lot of joking around. That was also good. All in all, how quality the holiday has depends upon what do you understand about the festival, what is that signifies, is that there in our life, or what are we doing? Are we just having superficial pleasures and then so escaping into like drinking something, or playing cards, or um, uh, seeing some football? All these things happen in other households. In our household, what happened was we didn't touch the uh, TV programs, but we put music that is very enlivening to us. And then as we are doing it, it is in the background, but it's not the dominant one. And we had the conversation, really understanding each other, and telling each other what's going on in their life. That was very, very good, because when you work somewhere, even though in the same state, my kids, but then they have their own experiences, their own um, aspirations, their own understanding of the world and the politics and all that, uh, diverting the conversation into positive way where it is nurturing, not putting you down, not causing emotional stress, was my uh, responsibility probably. So I was kind of easing the conversation into what I call elevated thinking. Think about that. From basic instincts and the real needs uh, that we have, or the nature needs, to something other than ourselves, something touching bigger than our family or our society, our country, like that. The perspective of including lot of the world and trying to contribute to the life itself. You may be doing a small work or bigger work, it doesn't matter. But if with the spirit, what are the spirit that you are doing? Am I contributing to the life, or I just want to enjoy life for myself and take everything from everybody, or really be so self-centered? That's not elevated thinking. That may be, you may be smart, you may be clever, you may say so many things to other people, but the truth matters. Are we really living that? Are we contributing to the living itself, or are expecting the everything serve us? Okay, that kind of attitude. Ancient had that, and in some of the ancient texts they write about every day you get up and then you kind of elevate yourself, your self-centered, selfish, competing, or criticizing, or whatever that self is there. That's the lower self. They called it the personhood, the personality that you develop just for yourself and look everything for your use. That is the lower self too. Something selfless, something giving, something enjoying giving, something that really elevates all life. That is elevated thinking. If you can harbor that first thing in the morning, that's why you remember in our morning routine, I say, I'm going to go with an attitude of service, right? And when you go with an attitude, I'm not going to react. Somebody says something, I'm going to really forgive him for that and then see whether it is true or not. So if somebody criticizes you, if you take offense, that's your ego getting offense. But if you put it aside, and if you want to look at like, is that true? Is there truth in that I'm missing? Uh, then you have to improve that, right? And if the truth is there and you are able to accept, maybe that's an opportunity for you to grow, to really improve yourself, right? So if you take that attitude, like it's not a big deal, I don't have to get hurt for that, but let me see whether this is good or not. If you have that pause before you react with your ego, I think you do yourself a lot of favor, because what do they do when they want excellence? They want to show you what are the areas that you could improve, right? It also depends on how the other person doing it, but how you take it is in your hands. Don't react, but look at the fact, see whether it is something that they are saying constructive criticism, and you have taken that and you have implemented, then your product will be better, right? And then your inner self is better because you have taken the criticism in a positive way to improve yourself, you know but when you are egotistical, like I have to be praised, I have to be appreciated and all that, then you are in the lower self, you are not having elevated thinking. Consider that consider that first thing in the morning, you have to get up and you want to get your lower self elevated to the higher self, which is including everybody. This is a lesson that was taught by Krishna to Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita. He tells every day you get up, you have to work at improving your lower self to the higher self by just changing your thinking about things, perceiving about things, and understanding the truth of the matter by being in the present, perceiving the truth, not according to what you go wants, but according to the fact, according to the life, right? That changes. And those kind of people who can pause and make a decision on that, they really go a long way. This is a very good management principle too. So I kind of modified this with my corporation when I was running my corporation, medical corporation. A lot of people are hired and fired and all that, right? But everybody kind of evaluates according to the product they have done, but I used to look at other qualities, how sincere they are, how earnest they are, how participatory they are with the goals of the company as a whole. Then there's themselves. They can do that for themselves, but also they have to contribute to the growth of the company and others too. That kind of spirit shown by me kind of was contagious, and people began to help each other much better, right? So what I used to do during the 3 months or 6 months evaluation, I wouldn't say evaluation, I would say possible areas of recommendation, a recommendation of possible areas of improvement. That is it. Recommending possible areas of improvement rather than criticizing you're too slow. You could say maybe we could increase the productivity from the 10 patients a day to maybe 12 patients a day, something like that. That resonated well, and also appreciating what they were doing well. These were very, very important, and I used to do that. Way back in 80s, I read a book called 1 Minute Manager. I don't know whether anybody read that or not. In that, they have three principles, simple principle. First principle is hire the right person for the right job. Okay, they have the qualities, they have the interest, they have really fit the job description and the job. Uh, they have experience, whatever. Based on that, we used to hire people. Okay, nurse is hired because she is kind with the patient, she can talk to them, she has very good skills of the patient care activities like drawing blood, taking to x-rays, all that, right? Once you have that, you can really appreciate that. And then first principle is that hire the people that are right for the job. And second principle is as they perform well, appreciate right away, right? That's the second principle. And third principle is if they mess up, if they really miss on something, you know what you do? You kind of tell them what happened right away without waiting for 3 months, 6 months, and then telling them. That was a very good thing, I thought. So while they're working, you can suggest that they have, for example, I'm doing a small procedure, where I'm draining an abscess or putting some sutures to the wound, whatever, right? People come in, and then I have a way to arrange the tray so that we don't have to run in the middle of the procedure. So I wrote it up, and then suppose we discover an opportunity to improvise the process of how we do that, then revise that policy right away and then put in there, and then let people know that is. So frequent meetings I used to have with people where I can discuss these kind of improvisation procedures. So all this helped a lot. Okay, 1 minute manager, hire people for the correct job and correct aptitude and all that. And then when they do very well with that, compliment them right away. You can give bonus and all that, that's okay. But at least physically telling them and then really appreciating that what they have done well will really help them to not egotistical, but more like a confidence. They have the assurance that I was appreciated for the work I had done, right? And then the same with if you have something mishap happened, and you could take it as an opportunity to educate them. You know, and doing that in a way that really they don't get hurt or anything like that. That will be good. By the way, hurt. What is the hurt? Who is it that getting hurt? For me, if you are in your real self, then you can easily see your ego is getting hurt. And once you know ego is not you, your shadow, you don't give much value to that. Then you don't even have to get hurt because you are transcended your ego by understanding that's not you. Make sense? Yeah. So getting to know you, getting to really establish yourself in the real inner self, there's a higher self, then you can really transcend the shadow or the feeling that you are that ego. And a lot of problems are solved. The egotistical person is not known to nurture his subordinates or his colleagues, but the person who is in real self is all compassion, empathy, and nurturance. That was a big deal for me, by the way, nurturing my employees. I was I owned the whole practice, I owned everything. So I hired people. And then one of the things I really liked was I asked them, what is that you want to do in life? you know, casually after they're hired and all that. I give the package that's needed for the hiring and all that. Then I ask them. Some of the kids used to come as a medical assistant. They're 17, 18 years of age, and they have tremendous energy, and also they are putting their first step into the medical field. So I was able to really help them to understand what it is all about, and they do it better, and they felt like I was like a grandfather nurturing them without being really imposing on them, right? But one thing I asked her was, what is that you finally want to do? Many expressed like I want to grow into an RN. I want to really help myself to a physician assistant, like that, whatever their goal is. And I used to keep that in the back of my mind. And as they're going, even if they have forgotten, I used to ask them, what happened to your ultimate goal? Some of them, they have achieved the goal and left my practice because of the greener pastures. That was okay, because we always had supply of people coming in and getting trained and serving for at least 2 years or 3 years. Like it's a very difficult to compete with the hospital, because hospital has a lot more money than we can afford as a clinic. But that was okay, because not only they went to something that they wanted to, which was very satisfying to me, and also they were very appreciative that I showed that spirit. So it's kind of not holding, not blackmailing, not making people do everything for you, but what is their inner aspiration, what is that they want to do in their life. If you can help them, as long as it is going to help me, I'm okay. It's not something illegal we are going to support, but we're going to support something that the kids have aspirations. Okay. So that was a very good atmosphere, because if they perceive that you are trying to protect them or trying to help them to grow in their own life, and without expecting anything in return, they really respect you. At least that's what I felt. And then we don't do it because of that. We do it because it is right to help the kids to grow into their own skills or whatever they're aspiring. I didn't encourage this money making or status, all the egotistical activities. I didn't do that. But if they wanted to do something that is going to help the society, or really have the spirit of reaching out to many people, that kind of spirit, I encourage that very much. First of all, I showed it because they knew how I reacted with my patients, and how my patients become my extended family members. And I come to know about everything about my patients, and also was there most of the time. They can call us at any time, and we will respond to them in some way. Actually, paradoxically, that cut down my work much more, because if you follow them daily, you come to know what is happening to them. Okay, so we cannot see them daily, but we encourage them to send faxes. At the time, faxes, right? Faxes, and then they did send faxes. Sometimes handwritten faxes also they came to us, and we always encourage them to write down questions before they come to the visit, so that they can keep those questions fresh, and ask us everything that they want. That was more productive for patient advice. So this is what is needed in America. We need more intimate connections with the patients. We are afraid to be that because we think it's a lot time consuming. No, because you know everything on a as happening basis. When they come, you already know what was going on with them, and then maybe more explanation is needed. And especially the people who are with us for years and years, this happened. And people who are there with me for 20, 30 years like that, because I was in the practice for so long, and they were there. Many people also switch to some other doctor or going to other places and all that. That's fine too. But as long as they are in the town here, they stuck with me. Some people, they were there and then they stayed till they died. So it's kind of builds relationship. I think that's very important in medical care. And now I am kind of expanded my wings. Not only my patients who want to see me, but also uh, out there in the world. How can I teach them not to get ill? So I put the bandwagon up, proactive wellness. So it's kind of growing from what we were doing to something like how can we tell them so that they can eat and exercise, sleep, and also think better so that they won't have to get sick. Lots of times, if you look at it, many people don't take care of themselves. That's self care. It's not only just self care, I'm talking about self care on steroids, right? Go deeper, understand what is wellness, understand what is illness. When are you going to be ill? What are the factors that are going to make you ill that you are doing now and you are not aware of? That's why proactive. Be proactive about being well. Eat properly. Understand the nutrition. Understand the diet. Understand what is a good thing for you to eat. There's so much happened in ancient wisdom in terms of energies. If you have proper energy balance, you are well, and you can fight off illness much better when you are in balance of your energies. There are different types of energy. One energy called rajas, which is like a frenetic, makes you work well, and then you move very fast. That is the energy that you need. And the tamas is a lazy, taking it easy, lying down. You don't need that while you're working, but you need that energy when you're resting, unwinding, sleeping. And then balance of this is the sattvic energy, where you can really understand deeper psychological things and all the inner energies, right? So there are diets for sattvic energy promotion, and I have a book called Sattvic Kitchen. I recently bought it from Yoga Institute of India, and that has given so many soups, so many salad, so many things that you would do. Even the bread that you make can be sattvic too. All those things were there, the recipes, and we use them, right? So then you have less chances of getting your energy going into imbalances. That's what Ayurveda said. They said if you are born in balance, that means according to nature, you were given a balance. They say they call Prakriti. Prakriti means really nature. Okay, so you're naturally in balance in Prakriti. But then you do some lifestyle changes or some things that you are not supposed to eat and all that. Whatever way, you can imbalance that. When you imbalance that energy, that is called Vikruti. So what they do, they not only ask you symptoms and all that, but they want to ask you, how do you live? How do you eat? How do you move? How do you think? How do you feel? All those number of questions. From that, they can say, okay, these type and this type energies are in imbalance. So let us promote them by giving the foods and other activities. Suppose you are thinking a lot and a lot. It's running. Your mind is running all the time. That is pretty common these days. I see a lot of CEOs coming to me asking, "Oh, we do so many meetings, and then we cannot stop our mind." Then they have problem. The mind is going on its own, and many people who commit suicide, they shoot in their head because of this reason. But if it's not that extreme, also you are not able to sleep well, and next morning you wake up not having much energy and all that. Some people drink and they kind of make it a crutch, right? But that's not advisable too. But if you understand the diet, if you choose the diet according to your energies, and you also change your type of input that you are taking into your mind, and it has to be done consistently over a long period of time, then the prakriti will be restored. The natural balance will be restored. Make sense? So this is how you can keep yourself in the balance and also really have a quality of life, right? How you are related to your loved ones, to friends, to society. That's very important too. These days, people promote watching TV alone, and in the old times, they just go into that, and which is not good at all. You are not moving your body by sitting down and watching TV and entertainment, and you are not allowing the mind to settle down. Those are opposite. What do I say all the time? Move your body and keep your mind quiet when you are not using it. So that silence is very invigorating too. That kind of stillness, serenity you can enjoy. Okay. All right. So I've been talking about all these things for a long time now. Anybody interested to come and say anything? I don't know whether you are even listening or you have left. Please. It's almost 47 minutes, right? I can go on talking like this, but I'd like to see what kind of impression all these things are making. You have anything to contribute to this discussion? Sometimes I understand. I wonder whether am I making any difference or am I making comprehensible conversation or not. For me, it looks what I'm speaking is coming out of my heart. So it is no big deal. So I enjoy myself giving out like that, sharing like that. But is it making any difference for you guys? I want to see that. Well, anyway, I hope you have a good Saturday, and I hope you all elevate yourself to the elevated thinking I was talking about, especially in the morning, first hour. If you can do that, you'll have a very good day. Okay. Uh, Thank you, and I'll see you later. If anybody wants to come up, I'll stay here for a few more minutes. Otherwise, I'll be taking leave from you. I'm following people who are new to me here, and so that I extend the courtesy that they have come to visit my room, so I can do the least is to follow them. Okay.